What's up, y'all? What it is? I hope everybody is doing well this morning. So let's go ahead and get down. Now, before we get down, I would like to preface my comments by saying this, that the intent of this video is not to fearmonger and not to send anybody into panic. It's just to put you guys up on game as it pertains to what's going on around the world. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys haven't heard, as of right now, India is facing a new outbreak of something called the Nipah virus. There have been 5 confirmed cases and 110 people have been placed in quarantine. Now, 2 out of the 5 cases that have been confirmed happen to be doctors, and this has been classified by the World Health Organization as a priority due to its epidemic potential. Now, what's interesting about this dynamic is the fact that officially on January the 22nd, 2026, the U.S. withdrew from the World Health Organization after Trump signed an executive order on January the 20th, 2025 to begin the withdrawal process. Now, the reason why the U.S. decided to withdraw from the World Health Organization is based off the fact that they felt that there was alleged failures in managing the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with the fact that the U.S. felt that it was a lack of transparency and also political influence from member states. Now, with the U.S. withdrawing from the WHO, it does have a significant impact because it disrupts global health efforts. And so California is the only state that joined a WHO network to actually strengthen response in the event something goes down there. And so when you look at everything in its totality, if the United States is faced with another pandemic, we have to deal with this dude who is the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services that already looks like he bites.
China is putting gay chemicals in the vapes, coupled with fruity pina colada flavoring agents. Many nicotine enjoyers in this country are on the business end of an all-out circus of predatory endocrine warfare. Life isn't meant to be a strawberry margarita sideshow.
Now, let me just say this. The Nipah virus has been around for decades. There have been certain outbreaks here and there, but don't you find it very interesting that during the same month where the U.S. finalized withdrawing from the World Health Organization, all of a sudden these Nipah viruses are popping back up in India, and China is treating this like it's another pandemic on the cusp?
Is it a coincidence? I ask you, is it a coincidence?
But anyway, what I'm going to do right here is insert a few clips as it pertains to this situation. So sit tight and I'll be back.
The outbreak of a deadly virus in India has much of the world on high alert with fears of another pandemic. Travellers are being stopped and screened for Nipah virus at all major Asian airports, including Bali. The global response to the outbreak eerily similar to scenes during COVID.
Checking for the deadly Nipah virus. Travellers arriving in Bali and other holiday spots can expect to undergo thermal scans.
Of course, we're all afraid of all the viruses, especially after Corona.
We're monitoring it very closely. We're engaging with other authorities internationally, including the World Health Organization.
Nipah virus kills 40 to 75% of those infected with it. Symptoms include high fever, nausea, vomiting, and difficulty breathing. India has recorded 2 cases, triggering a global response, with screening stepped up in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and China. Humans are typically infected by fruit bats or pigs, or by eating fruit tainted by sick animals. It can spread person to person, but that's not common.
So far, only 2 patients have tested positive. The remaining contacts, approximately 190 to 200 of them, have been quarantined.
The 2 people infected were health workers, but all their contacts tested negative. In 2018, a deadly outbreak in Kerala, southern India, killed 17 people. But Indian authorities say this latest outbreak has been contained.
The health department says Nipah virus is deadly but also very rare, never recorded in Australia. As for travellers, they should take precautions if visiting somewhere with cases. Right now, that's only West Bengal in India. Advice is to avoid contact with fruit bats, pigs, and infected people.
There's been a virus outbreak in India where in some cases it can cause deadly brain infections. Let me explain. This is something that's obviously very worrying but apparently this virus is called the Nipah virus. Health officials have confirmed that there have been 2 cases in West Bengal in India, and it's the first time that they've had an outbreak for 19 years. And not to give anybody a morbid sense of deja vu, but the natural hosts are fruit bats. And apparently it's spread from bats to people directly if people eat fruit or fruit products that have been contaminated with bats' urine or saliva. And it can be contracted from person to person if someone's been in close contact with someone who's already been infected by the virus. But bearing in mind there has only been 2 confirmed cases, but because of these 2 cases 100 people had to quarantine themselves. But reports say the virus has a fatality rate of between 40 to 75% according to the World Health Organization, and it says that the rate can vary by outbreak depending on local capabilities for managing the spread of the virus, but there is no vaccine to prevent the infection and no specific treatment to cure it. Absolutely terrifying, but as more information comes out about this, I'll keep everyone updated, so make sure you follow in for all the latest.
A virus that can kill up to 75% of the people it infects has appeared in India. But what is this virus and how worried should you be? The virus is called Nipah virus and it's not new. But 2 cases in India have prompted airports to start screening in countries from Thailand to Malaysia. Nipah is rare. It can be asymptomatic, but it can also be very dangerous. The fatality rate can range from 40% to 75% according to the World Health Organization. But this is not COVID-19. Here's the key. It doesn't spread easily between people. Outbreaks are usually small and self-contained. Nipah virus usually spreads with contact with fruit that has been contaminated by infected bats, either through urine or saliva. Human-to-human transmission happens, but it's usually between close family members or caregivers. Nipah was first identified in 1999 in Malaysia. Since then, there have been outbreaks almost every year, mostly in Bangladesh, but with a few cases in India. As of December last year, there have been 750 cases worldwide. 415 of those people died. Symptoms start with fever, headaches, and muscle pains. Then neurological symptoms start to appear, brain inflammation and seizures. Some people also experience severe respiratory symptoms too. They can fall into a coma within days. No approved vaccines or treatments exist yet, although scientists are trialling some. So Nipah is deadly, but it hasn't shown signs yet of spreading easily around the world. It's a regional public health concern, not yet a global threat.
All right, so we just saw and heard all of that. Now I want to take the time to read you a couple of tweets, and they're very interesting. So this particular person says, India is downplaying the Nipah outbreak while hosting global sports with a 40 to 75% fatality rate in cases near Kolkata. I'm pretty sure I botched that, but it's all good. Player safety is at risk. The T20 World Cup must be moved to Sri Lanka. Then another person says, with the virus situation raising real health concerns, ICC must put player and fan safety first. The T20 World Cup should be postponed or shifted to a safer venue. Now, the reason why those 2 tweets are significant is based off of the fact that the United States will be in India for the cricket tournament, right? And they're set to play on February the 7th. And that's literally around the corner, taking place next week. And it's very funny that the United States sever ties with the World Health Organization, but you have the professional men playing in a cricket tournament over in India that could be exposed to this virus. It's crazy. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if the U.S. men's cricket team actually cancel, because I'm skeptical as hell. At this particular point, I don't even care if you move the venue. I don't even want to go across the pond. Now, I can't confirm this, but I've seen this all over social media, and a lot of people are saying that India is not telling the truth about how many people have been affected by this virus. And a lot of people are saying that China actually knows the truth, and that's why they're treating this like a potential pandemic. But hey, again, that's all alleged information. That's why I didn't post a lot of what I saw here, because at this particular point in time, it's just hearsay. But we need to watch as well as pray. That's what my mom used to say, and just really focus in on this particular situation and don't take it for granted, right? Because at the end of the day, so many people didn't take COVID serious, and look at what happened to some individuals that didn't. And I say that respectfully. So just keep your eyes on this particular virus and things of that nature, because we don't have anybody to rely on basically when it comes to the United States, because they're not really going to talk about the situation until it's knee deep and people have probably passed away. That's just my thoughts on the situation, right? Because when you sever ties with the WHO, that means that you're putting every American life at risk by withholding information. And we cannot and will not, well, some of us, I'm not going to speak for all of us, we cannot depend on RFK. We just can't depend on this guy. But at the end of the day, let me draw the line here. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything I discussed in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Have a beautiful day.
Tough News TV. We out.